Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 Morning News at 9.
All right, Christina, I can smell the deliciousness coming from the kitchen. What is happening over there?
Well, our friend Debbie, she's back, and we're talking about Passover because it's happening this week. And so, of course, you're going to teach us how to make matzo balls.
Yes.
Because that is tradition.
It is tradition.
Okay, but first of all, before we get started, and we've got a lot of yummy food. Listen, Charlie already wants a bowl.
I know.
Okay? She's already asked for a bowl, and I said, listen, we have to wait. So here's the thing. Talk to me a little about, for the folks at home who don't know what Passover is, what are we talking about?
So Passover is a holiday that's been celebrated for more than 3,000 years. It goes back to the Bible, the book of Exodus. I know you know that. And it's the telling of the story of Jews being enslaved in Egypt and being freed. We have been practicing this tradition literally for thousands of years, and it is to remind us of being slaves. So every year at Passover, which starts this Wednesday night, it's an 8-day holiday. The first 2 nights we sit down and we have a meal that tells the story of Passover. And we do this through a book called the Haggadah. And I have a couple different varieties to kind of show you. This is a more modern day one here, a different night. That's what we use at our house. But I have some really interesting ones. This Haggadah is from Spain. It's illuminated. And this is obviously a facsimile, people. This is not the real thing.
Right.
But it tells the story. So even this goes back to the 1300s in Spain. So telling the story of Passover is a tradition that we have. There's 15 parts to the Seder, which means order. And this is called the Haggadah, which means the telling, literally.
And I love that because you share, and with the kids especially, because I feel like that's really where the learning is happening.
So that's where the toys come in.
That's why we have this spread right here.
So this represents the 10 plagues. So the kids, we have them on the table, and kids of all ages like to play with them.
I got it.
You know, everybody always waits for the food.
Of course.
Right? We got to tell the story, and then we eat.
Yes. Okay, so talk to me about the tradition of creating matzo balls.
Right. So matzo balls is actually a relatively new tradition, considering that this holiday's been around 3,000 years.
Right. Okay.
So, and it comes down to the matzah. So I'm going to just point out this matzah here. You see how it's like a perfect square? Those were basically created as a part of the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s, mid 1800s really, when they had factories to be able to make the matzah in squares. Before that, it was always handmade. And so with the Industrial Revolution, people started to figure out what else can we do with matzah, because we've got a lot of it. And so what happens is you can grind that up into a flour.
There it is.
So this is a matzah meal, is what it's called. And Manischewitz, which was founded, I think, in the 1880s was when their factory was created. And so you can take this, add it to some egg, some oil, a little bit of water, and you can create your mix. Now, here's the real dilemma that goes on at every Passover.
Oh gosh,
Which is, do you like your matzo balls fluffy or more solid and dense?
So if you take a look, right here. So this, she says these two are fluffy and this is more solid. Okay, so I can tell this one is a more solid one, right? And then this is fluffy. You like the fluffy.
I do like the fluffy, but everybody in my household likes the solid, so I just make the solid because I never have time to eat because I'm like putting out the food.
And you can put this with anything. So once you create the matzo balls, you can put them in soup. I know that you're creating like a chicken soup, right?
So I'm just going to point out the way you get them fluffy.
I gotcha.
Is baking soda. People have different secret ingredients. Some people use seltzer water. So these are the two things. You can also whip your eggs a lot with the oil. So there's lots of different ways to do it. So depending on which way you want to go, if you don't want fluffy eggs, more solid, you would just omit this and just do the eggs, oil, matzah meal, salt. You could add some garlic powder, onion powder. You can see the colors are not very bright and vibrant like I normally have.
Yes.
It's just like
it's okay because they're matzo balls. That's just it. And how do you get it to be at this consistency?
Right. So what you do is, here's the mix that I already have, and so you would just take the matzo ball in your hand. And I have some chicken soup in here. You can do it in water or soup. And you would cover it with a lid and just let it boil. So these ones are obviously done.
What other ways do you serve matzo balls? Aside from the soup. It's just this?
That's it.
That's it? Are you sure, Debbie? Because I know that you're very creative.
With matzo balls, that is the only way.
That's it.
Matzo meal you can do a lot with.
Oh, okay, understood.
So this is a baking ingredient, a cooking ingredient.
Well, here's the thing. I know that Charlie wants a bite or a bowl. Here she comes. Okay. Okay, you're gonna need this.
She's going
Here
for
you go.
the fluffy.
There, she went for the fluffy. I will have this. Well, anyway, how about this?
Okay, there you go.
Well, I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Cheers.
Debbie, I appreciate you. If you want more information on her and her recipe or ingredients and all that good stuff, you just go to our website, fox5sandiego.com. Click the Scene On tab, and we'll get you linked up with Debbie. Debbie, appreciate you.
Thank you. Happy Passover.
Happy Passover. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.